Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today we're going to be doing my reaction and review for LEGO Ninjago Season 12, Episode 15, The Temple of Madness. And if you would like to see my full reaction to this episode, then be sure to go down below to the top of the description of this video, where you will find a link leading you over to Google Photos, where you'll be able to view my full, uncut reaction to the episode. And then once you're done watching that, you can feel free to come back over to YouTube, where you'll be able to watch this full spoiler review for the episode. And let me tell you, there is quite a bit to talk about here, because of course this is the last episode before the finale of this season, and there is a lot that happens within this. So basically the episode starts off with Nia and Jay still having to get through one of the final parts of the level here, and one of them is kind of just going through these sort of traps that are going through. They almost look like ninja stars, and they have or shurikens, I suppose, and they're kind of just rotating around, and they have to try to avoid them. And of course they have to be extra careful and time it perfectly, because they are both down to only one life left. So it definitely raises the intensity in the scene, and there's a slight glitch going on, so they kind of have to watch out for that as well, and kind of make sure that they don't get caught in the glitch or wind up getting taken out by it. So they wind up kind of going through it. And also, if you wonder, I'm looking at the episode as well, just so I don't miss any details from it specifically. But they wind up making it through that, and they actually get into a sushi restaurant, where of course Nia kind of thinks that it's going to be a trap, but Jay says that it's basically just an area where you'll be able to heal up and then gain some more energy. So they basically, Jay's kind of going with it, but Nia's kind of a little bit apprehensive to what's going on here. But they basically have this sushi worker here, or restaurant worker I suppose, in a kimono, and she's like, sits them down at a table, starts telling them the menu, and then her eyes turn red and she just goes absolutely crazy and just starts trying to fight them with like a bunch of cleavers, and she throws one, and then Jay's like, oh, not very smart to throw away your weapon, but then she spawns like two new ones and just keeps fighting them, and they wind up being able to take her out. Well, it's mainly Nia, because Jay is having a tough time, but then the sushi winds up turning into monster sushi, and it's just crazy. The sushi's like has a mouth, and it starts trying to eat Jay, and luckily Nia's able to help Jay, but they wind up doing that, and then they wind up going against more of the sushi chefs, which the main one that they wind up going against, I wrote down his name, is Sushimi, the Mad Sushi Chef. So they wind up going against him primarily. They go against some of his workers as well, but they're able to take them out fairly easily, I would say. But then they wind up going against this main sushi chef, and it's a bit more of a fight here. They're actually fighting with chopsticks for a portion of it, so I thought that was pretty funny. So not very effective, but Nia winds up throwing wasabi in both of his eyes, kind of like making it very hard for him to fight against them, and then they wind up getting to kind of knock him on the conveyor belt of sushi, sending him flying right out of there. So luckily they're able to kind of seemingly take him down for at least the moment, and then they start heading upstairs, and they get to a firewall basically, where this is where you have to enter all three katanas so that you're able to enter into the final level here and complete the game. So basically they're at this moment here. Jay puts in all the katanas, and then he's having a heart-to-heart moment with Nia, just kind of like expressing how he couldn't have done this without her. But then while Jay's back is turned, while he's hugging Nia, she sees the Mad Sushi Chef Tsushima come upstairs, and he goes to throw his weapon right at Jay, and Nia winds up taking the hit. She gets cubed, and then Jay luckily takes out Tsushimi, but Nia gets cubed, so now it is solely down to Jay, and that is just crazy. I mean, I had a feeling it would get down to only Jay. I knew it wasn't going to get down to only Nia, but I just wasn't sure if they'd like take her out, or if she would be able to kind of work together with Jay in this last part. But nope, it is just down to Jay. So he turns all three katanas in order to get past the firewall, and he's there. He sees the gate, and it is like a giant arcade cabinet made out of all of the cubes of the players, and Unagami then spawns in, and he is crazy. Like, Unagami's so cool. He has such an awesome design, and I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't utilize him more. I understand that he kind of just had a bunch of advisors to do his bidding for him, so he didn't necessarily need to do it himself, but still, the moments where we get to see him, especially in the main last episode, like not the last episode, but the one where he was mainly featured, where he was talking to Okino, it was just so cool. So it's awesome to get any screen time with him. I hope he has a big presence presence in this finale, because I hope he does, because it's all kind of been leading up to this. But we get a pretty cool presence for him here, and at first Jay accuses him and saying like, Milton Dyer, like, we don't need to call you Unagami anymore, we know who you are, we figured it out. But then Unagami explains how Milton Dyer is his creator and how he is Prime Empire, and this kind of like is shocking to Jay, of course, because now he understands that the game has kind of developed an artificial intelligence and is trying to get into the real world itself. And it is super cool. We get to see all of the cubes coming through, and Unagami's like, that's the last cube I needed. Of course it is. It's Nia. And then she gets put in, and the whole portal is now activated. But Jay, of course, attempts to stop Unagami, but Unagami winds up basically explaining how I am the game. I can take any form that I want. So he takes the form of a dragon, and it is just epic. We saw him take this form briefly in one of his previous appearances, but now we get to see it in full-on action. And it basically just winds up like wrecking Jay, and it winds up getting through the portal. So now Unagami is in the real world, but then of course we have to worry about now Jay getting back into the real world. So he's going up against all these red visors that are of course trying to stop him, while also trying to get into the real world to serve Unagami as his army. And Jay remembers that he got that blue token to summon the blue dragon, but you can only use it once. So it's good that he saved it till now, because he winds up spawning that. And it made sense to me, because I was like, that's right, I forgot that they made a Lego set with Jay on that dragon. So it was really cool to see that it's able to help him escape, and Jay enters through the portal, and that's where the episode concludes. So now we know Unagami is in the real world, and there's not many people left to fight him. Like, you have Zane back over there, who might wind up being out of commission because of his power source kind of being drained. You have Wu, who's still kind of like trapped, and then you have Pixel, who's probably going to wind up getting trapped. So it's honestly just kind of left on Jay's shoulders. So I'm very curious if somehow some of the characters and players are going to wind up getting out of the game and then wind up coming together to help Jay fight Unagami, and then the ninja of course can be released. So they're gonna have to find some sort of way, because I just can't see Jay wind up being able to beat Unagami on his own. And I'm sure Milton Dyer will play some sort of part in this, in helping stop Unagami, because of course this is kind of his mess to clean up. So I'm going to be very interested to see how this all goes, how they all fix everything in one episode. I mean, these episodes are 11 minutes. There is a lot to get done in that finale. I feel like I was saying the same thing at the finale for season 11. I was like, wow, there is a lot to get like cleaned up in this final episode, and it feels the same way here. So hopefully they're going to be able to do it just as well as I thought they were able to do it in season 11. So very curious to see how that winds up going. So yeah, just a fantastic episode overall. I would honestly give it a 5 out of 5. Really fun, great episode. I love seeing Unagami, and some really cool fights as well against those sushi chefs. So overall, fantastic episode. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on the episode down below in the comments section. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like as well. I really appreciate the support. And also be sure to subscribe if you want to see future Ninjago reactions, and check out that finale reaction as well. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.